Let's talk about viewing natural disasters like hurricanes and wildfires from a broader perspective. The Earth is a living being. Like you, it adjusts itself as needed to maintain balance and well-being. So what you might view as a disaster is, from an earthly perspective, simply the Earth rebalancing itself. Consider how horses use their tails to ward off insects. Horses use their tails with amazing precision and create just the right amount of motion at the right place to throw bugs off or disrupt flight patterns. The horses know when something is out of balance on their bodies and automatically bring themselves relief. If you were a fly or a mosquito, you would find the horse's tail swish to be alarming, disturbing. It throws off the intentions of the insects. It interferes with them. The horse wasn't intending to cause harm. The horse was only interested in maintaining well-being. There are constant changes underway on this planet, which allow the Earth to align with greater well-being. There is no intended harm to others from the Earth's perspective. It is just maintaining balance. Sometimes the Earth is thinning energies in a specific place, or it might be clearing away energy that is present to make way for something new. Fire can create a blank slate. So can hurricanes. If you are a student in a classroom and the teacher is about to wipe the chalkboard or whiteboard clean, you know that there will be new ideas there eventually. It is not a devastation when the board is wiped. You know it is to make it clean for something else. Can weather be influenced by what is going on with people living in a specific location and the energy they are generating? Of course, but generally speaking, with large-scale events, it is an influence and not a causation. During this time of the pandemic, many people are already feeling fear and vulnerability. Many living in these locations have also experienced unwanted there before in terms of earth changes. People who have lived through one or many hurricanes, for example, might feel more vulnerable to the damage they can bring. People who have lived through a wildfire may have anxiety about another one at the back of their minds. So they could be dreading, fearing that there might be more unwanted before these events ever manifest. And in their minds, these kinds of natural disasters are a likely path toward the greater disruption they are fearing. To talk about natural disasters, it's also important to talk about death and the mythology, the misconceptions many of you have about it. These deaths, from a non-physical perspective, are not disasters. They might seem unplanned to you, and they might seem unwanted, but they are not tragedies in the eyes of non-physical. It's important to understand what death actually is. It is simply the reemergence, the reallowance of a return to the fullness of who you really are, of who every being is. What you call death is actually an allowance of tremendous love, joy, and the experience of merging with the broader part of who you are. You don't need to grieve for the ones who make their reemergence. We know you do, but they are so fully alive and so fully a joyful expression of themselves. They are not grieving as you are, and they maintain their alignment with loving you. Now, many of you would define the deaths that the people and animals experience in natural disasters to be unpleasant. So try to understand. When a being sees an unpleasant death approaching, the spirit leaves the body before the body experiences the physical death. Don't try to imagine, for instance, the death of someone's body in these disasters, because they view it, if at all, from an out-of-body perspective. They are wise enough to leave and not stick around to have an unpleasant death experience. You might see the body experience discomfort, but the individual spirit has usually left. When someone is out of body, they are not having the pain and experience others might witness happening to the body. The body may have a physical reaction to what is occurring, but it is not that individual spirit reacting. The spirit was wise enough to be gone already. Consider that every being has a non-physical support team providing guidance, love, and calling them to make the best choices possible, whether that is guiding them to a place of physical safety or helping them to make a quick and easy transition to non-physical. Non-physical is always inspiring you to well-being. Your job is to stay aligned as much as possible, to allow the guidance and act on it. These experiences of strong contrast evoke powerful desire and clarification for the future. And you are a vibrational match to what you are experiencing, even in the midst of Earth rebalancing. Some people like drama in their lives. They like having big stories to tell. They want lives of adventure. Some people place a high value on being helpful and want to be in the place for these events where they can provide the greatest benefit to others. Some people prefer calm and want to avoid trauma. They might be inspired to relocate or even take a vacation when their higher selves note changes on the horizon. They will all be inspired toward the right place for them at the right time. What matters always is your personal alignment with Source, with who you really are, with what you desire, and what is meaningful to you. Don't let natural disasters sway you from alignment. When they do, return to a state of alignment as quickly as you can. Don't let thoughts about earth changes move you out of your state of well-being. Don't let the earth's rebalancing be an excuse for you to lose your balance. Source is always inspiring you to find well-being, always calling you toward alignment. Whether you are in the midst of a natural disaster, fearful about an impending one, or listening to stories from survivors, find thoughts that bring you relief and allow you to return to your natural state, which is well-being. Trust in your ability to align with guidance from non-physical, to know that all is well, and that even if your well-being seems temporarily disrupted, all will once again be well. Any disruptions are temporary. Well-being is the natural state of the earth, and well-being is your natural state as well.